A radian measure, so an angle with its vertex at the center of a circle, so here, that intercepts the arc on the circle equal to the radius of the circle has a measure of 1 radian. So if we're just drawing this in, essentially, we're trying to get these 3 measurements, boom, boom, and boom, to be the same. Obviously, one of them is curved, so it's not as easy as having 3 little sticks, which is how we started that arts and crafts project. One of them will have to be turned, but that is 1 radian. It takes 3 and a little more radians to go a semicircle, or 6 and a little more radians to go all the way around, which is how we developed pi and 2 pi. If no unit of angle measure is specified, which is why I was so annoying about the degrees earlier in this class, then the angle is understood to be measured in radians. So be careful now that we're using both, that you are specifying what kind of degree you are using, or radian you are using. So there is a conversion between degrees and radians that we need to know. If you have degrees and you want to change it to radians, what you will do is you will take the degree unit and you will multiply it by pi over 180. Now 90% of the time you're going to leave it in terms of pi, which means you'd really just be doing the degree divided by 180, making it back into a fraction and slapping a pi next to it, because we are going to probably leave them in terms of pi until it tells you to round. If you have a radian measure and you want to change it to degrees, what you would do is you would take the radian measure and you would multiply it by 180 over pi. This one you usually are pressing the pi button and will have to round the answer to either decimal degrees or degrees, minutes, seconds. Yes?
Are you recording?
Yes. So those are the 2 conversions we're going to need, and that's basically the main idea of today, is to be able to convert back and forth between degrees and radians, radians and degrees, so that we can do any angle no matter how it's presented to you. Elizabeth, you have a question?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay. Now, I know some of us who have taken AP Pre-Cal and or Calculus have some of these memorized. That's cool, but you maybe didn't know the conversion between the 2 or why you knew certain things. So if we are converting between degrees to radians or radians to degrees, we first see, bless you, what we were given. We were given 45 degrees, so we want to convert it into radian measures. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 45 degrees and we're going to multiply it by pi over 180, which is the conversion factor we want to use. Now, mathematically what we are doing is we are really doing 45 over 180 with a pi next to it. On your calculator, you eventually would press the pi button, but when we are going into radian mode, we don't want to press the pi button because we want to show this number in terms of pi. So all you would do in your calculator is 45 divided by 180. Yes?
Do we stay in degree mode or do we go to radian?
That will come into play when you're doing sine, cosines, and tangents. It doesn't matter right now. We're just working with numbers. Great question. When we're doing sine, cosine, or tangent, you will have to change it to radians or degrees based on what you're doing. Good question. But right now, just in the regular home screen, what is 45 divided by 180? 0.25, which is 1/4, so we want it as a fraction. 1/4 pi would be written as pi over 4. So my friends who know the hand trick, 45 degrees is pi over 4 because of this conversion factor. What if we have some radians? This says 9 pi over 4. That's clearly a radian measure, and we need to convert it into degrees. So what we would do is we would do 9 pi over 4, that's the radian, multiplied by 180 over pi. Now, I've always remembered this conversion personally because we know we're going to get rid of the pi's to go to degree mode. So look, the pi's are going to cancel each other out, correct? That's how you know you're using the correct conversion factor. The pi's have to cancel here because we're going away from radians. And then because I want you to practice doing these sorts of things in your head, the trick with multiplying fractions is to look for common factors. Do you see that 4 and 80 are both divisible by 4? What is 4 divided by 4? 1. What is 180 divided by 4? 45. So all we really have to do here is 9 times 45, which is 405 degrees. If you don't trust me, this is when you turn to a calculator. You would do 9 times 180 divided by 4. You don't have to press the pi button. The pi's cancel each other out. Make sense?
Can you explain the last step again?
Yeah, if you don't want to do this in your head, literally without typing the pi's in your calculator, you would type 9 times 180 divided by 4, and it would give you 405. Kayla's checking me because she doesn't trust me.
Divided by 4?
Divided by 4.
Oh.
If you're doing it in your head, it's a lot easier to multiply 4 times 45. Sorry, that's a 9. 9 times 45 rather than 9 times 180. So if we know these numbers can reduce, we would reduce them first to make our math smaller. Okay, challenge question. If I want you to convert 4.25, first things first, did I give you a radian or a degree measure? Radian, because what is it missing? The degree. That is a radian measure. If you do not see the degree sign, it is radian. So we're going to take 4.25 and we are going to multiply it by 180 over pi. This time, since there's not a pi to cancel it out, we are going to have to use the pi button on our calculator. Does everybody see the pi button on their calculator? Where is it?
Well, I just did it right here.
Right here. So you're going to, and it's blue, right? Underneath the clear button, it's an up caret. It's like the exponent button, right? So if we press second and then the up caret, that gets you the pi button. So you're going to do 4.25 times 180 divided by pi. Calculator should spit out to you that this is 243, and we'll round to 2 decimals, 0.51 degrees.
Sig figs don't matter here?
I looked at the homework, and it will tell you how to round each time.
Okay.
So just pay attention to the rounding for each of the homeworks. Pretty much in this entire chapter, it's not consistent. It changes from question to question. Sometimes it's sig figs, sometimes it's tenths, sometimes it's hundredths. Sometimes it's a whole integer. Let's just do a couple more, just get good practice. What if I had negative 270 degrees? I want to convert this, since it's a degree, into radian. Doesn't matter that it's negative, we can still do it. So we're going to take negative 270 degrees and multiply it by the conversion factor, which is pi over 180. Now, since I'm wanting this in radians, we are not pressing the pi button. You're going to leave it in terms of pi. So all I would type in my calculator is negative 270 divided by 180. What is negative 270 divided by 180? Can you get it as a fraction? Negative 3 over 2.
3 over 2?
Uh-huh.
3 over 2?
There it is. So we do negative 3 pi over 2. We leave it in terms of pi. It's like the pi just gets to stay there. Yes, ma'am.
Never mind.
Okay. You sure? Okay. What about converting negative 5 pi over 6? So this is in radians, since there's no degree symbol. So to get it in terms of degrees, we will multiply by the conversion 180 over pi. The pi's have to cancel. We can do this one sort of in our head. Pi's would cancel. Let's reduce those larger numbers. What do 180 and 6 have in common? What are they both divisible by? 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 180 divided by 6 is 30. It's a lot easier to do negative 5 times 30 than negative 5 times 180. This will give you negative 150 degrees. And if you're using your calculator, you would have done negative 5 times 180 divided by 6. You would have gotten the same answer.
Can you zoom out for a second? There is 2 C's.
Hmm?
There's 2 C's.
I thought it was tripping too, so I just started going in alphabetical
Oh,
order.
A, B, C, C, D, E. Yeah, my bad. I didn't even notice that. Let's go to the actual E, which is your F if you've been labeling them correctly. So 360 degrees, that's an entire revolution, correct? Those of you who have taken AP Pre-Cal or Pre-Cal or Calculus, how many radians are in an entire rotation? 2 pi. Let's prove it. So 360 degrees should be multiplied by pi over 180. 360 divided by 180 is 2, correct? Which means this gives me 2 pi. Our entire revolution of a circle is 2 pi radian.
Wait, so when it's
If you are converting to degrees from radians, yes. If the question is having you convert.
Okay.
And if it's starting as a degree, you end as a radian, so there's no symbol, except the pi.
Okay, that's the answer to my question.
Okay. Now, if the question asks you to not write it in terms of pi, like let's say it wanted this number rounded to the nearest hundredth, you can put 2 pi in your calculator, press enter, and then round that number. So you can round the answer or approximate the answer, but if it says it wants an exact answer or an answer in terms of pi, leave the pi. Because after that, we'd have to round. So the reason we're doing this is because now our trig can be done in both degrees and radians. So I could maybe ask you to find the tangent of 2 pi over 3. And eventually we're going to have other skills to do this. But let's first just convert it to degrees, since that's what we know about, so that we can see that these values would be the same. So if I'm converting 2 pi over 3 into degrees, I would do 2 pi over 3 multiplied by 180 over pi. 3 and 180 are both divisible by 3, so this becomes a 1 and a 60. The pi's will cancel out. I get it to be 120 degrees. So if I'm asking you to find the tangent of 2 pi over 3, it's just like asking you to find the tangent of 120 degrees. And in the last chapter, when I maybe asked you to do the tangent of an angle in quadrant 2, you'd have to think about its reference angle. What is the reference angle for 120? How many more degrees do I need to get to 180? 60. But in quadrant 2, is tangent positive or negative? Negative. So then we would look at our pink formula sheet, the pink chart, to see that tangent of negative 60 degrees would be the negative square root 3. So now our questions around the unit circle, eventually, and our questions for trig can be asked for exact answers in both radian and degree angles. Can I ask you another one?
So,
Is that a question?
tangent of 2 pi over 3 is the same as negative square root of
Correct.
3. Okay.
Because negative tangent of 2 pi over 3 is the same as tangent of 120. That's the same angle. And tangent of 120 has a reference angle of 60. And in quadrant 2, tangent is negative. Let's find another. We have sine of 11 pi over 6. Whoa, 11 pi over 6. Let's convert that to degrees so we can just see what we're working with here. So we would convert it again, pi on the bottom, so the pi's cancel out. 6 and 180 are divisible by each other. It goes into there 30 times. So now I'm just doing 30 times 11, which is 330 degrees. So the question of asking you to find the sine of 11 pi over 6 is just like asking you to do the sine of 330 degrees. That's the same angle, just measured in radians and degrees. What is the reference angle for 330 degrees? 30. Very good. And it's in quadrant 4, because 330 is all the way around in quadrant 4. Is sine positive or negative in quadrant 4? Negative. And we know the sine of 30 degrees from our chart is 1/2. So sine of 11 pi over 6 is negative 1/2, because it's in quadrant 4. Our last example for today, because our notes are pretty short, is cosine of negative 4 pi over 3. Okay, we need to figure out negative 4 pi over 3 in degrees. So we convert it to degrees. Bless you. Bless you again. You're so welcome. 3 and 180 are divisible by 60. I didn't say that right. 3 and 180 are divisible by 3, which gives me 60. This is negative 240 degrees. So cosine of negative 4 pi over 3 should be the exact same as the cosine of negative 240. What is the reference angle for negative 240? I guess we should back up. What quadrant is negative 240 in? Ooh, but it's negative. Second quadrant. So it travels 3 quadrants, but we're going the opposite direction. So it's in quadrant 2. What would be the reference angle for negative 240 since it lands in quadrant 2?
Oh, wait. That was 180 minus.
60. Because if I take 60 degrees away from it to go back down to the x-axis, my reference angle is 60.
Oh, so I was right.
You were right.
When I did it in my calculator, not when I said it out loud.
Yeah. In quadrant 2, is cosine positive or negative? Negative. So again, we have to slap the negative in front of it. Cosine of 60 degrees is 1/2, so we know that the cosine of negative 4 pi over 3 is negative 1/2.
I'm sorry, why did it turn 60 degrees?
That's a great question. So negative 240, you see how the angle's all the way up here?
Uh-huh.
I want to go back to the x-axis as quick as possible. How much did I have to take away from this 240 in the negative direction to get back down here, which is 180? So 240 minus 180 gives me 60.
Okay.
Good question.